If a particular user has logged into our website to read a particular blog post, then how can we suggest the related blog post to him using the techniques like machine learning and natural language processing is what we are trying to understand as part of this video series. To be able to compute the distance between two blog posts, we should first be able to convert those blog posts into numerical format. In our previous videos, we have written the Python code to convert the blog posts into numerical format using count vectors. The link for all of those, I'll put it in the description box. In this video, we are going to write a Python code to be able to compute the distance between those blog posts using those count vectors. Hi, this is Aditya. I do videos on latest technology trends and their technical implementations in the field of digital marketing. If you are interested, please subscribe to my channel. Let's get started with the presentation.
Okay, so let's quickly recap on what we have discussed until now. So we have considered these three as our example blog posts, and as a next step what we have done is we have cleansed all these blog posts. That is, we have removed all the unnecessary words in this which doesn't add to any topic like are, good and all those, and we call them stop words. So we have removed all those words and cleansed the text. And as a third step, what we have done is we have created a vocabulary. And how we have created this vocabulary is we have taken a unique word in each and every of these cleansed words. So from all these words, we have collected what are the unique words, and we created the vocabulary of all the words which are used among all these blog posts. Okay, so what are the words which are used among all these blog posts? That we have collected here, and we called it vocabulary. And as a next step, we created the count vectors. So what are these count vectors? So we have taken one word in this vocabulary and we have counted how many times that particular word has repeated in each and every blog post. And that count we have entered here. If it has repeated once, we have entered it as once. And if it hasn't repeated once, we have marked it as 0. Okay, so for example, if it has repeated twice, we must have put 2 here. Okay, so basically what we have done is how many times each of these words appeared in the blog post, that we have counted. So till this point we have done in our previous videos. So the link for all those previous videos I am putting out in the description box. For in-depth discussion on these topics, you can refer to those videos. Okay. So next what we have done is we have also written a Python script which does the same thing as these count vectors. So the output what we wanted to get is this count vectors. So for that we have written this Python code. So what we have done is we have taken the count vectorizer which is an object given in the sklearn library. Okay, so we just have initialized this class and assigned it to a object. Okay, and then we have initialized it as shop, and we have passed the argument as stop words is equal to English, which will internally cleanse all the stop words. Stop words are nothing but the words which doesn't add any value to the topic. Okay, just like are, is, was, something like that. So to remove all those words, we have passed this argument stop underscore words is equal to English, and then we have assigned it to this object which is vectorizer. Then we have initialized a corpus. Corpus is nothing but a collection of the documents which is blog post in our case. So each of these is blog post. So we have created a array which is the collection of all these blog posts, and we have initialized this vector and we have initialized this variable which is corpus. So then what we have done is we have used this vectorizer object and we have executed a fit transform function, and we have passed this corpus as an argument to it. So what it does is whatever we have discussed till here, it does the same thing. So it will calculate how many times each word has been repeated, and the resultant whatever we got here, like right, so the resultant like this, it will put it in this variable. Okay, so we have already discussed in our previous lectures that this is the compressed sparse matrix. Okay, so this representation, since there are multiple zeros, it will compress in certain format and it will store into this variable. Okay, so then how do we get the features? Features are nothing but these vocabulary of the words. Okay, so what are the vocabulary of the words which it has collected? To print that, we do vectorizer which is this object dot get feature names. So then it will print all the feature names for which it has counted the number of occurrences. Okay, so these are the vocabulary words which are features, and below whatever we have printed is the occurrences of each of these words. So this also we have covered in depth in our previous videos. So the link for which again I'll put it in the description. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to compute what is the similarity between these blog posts. So till now what we have done is we have successfully converted this blog post into this numerical format. But how do we compute the similarity between these blog posts? Okay, so to do that we have already discussed the theory of this. Okay, so what is this point? Whatever we get as this numerical representation, right? We assume this as a coordinate point in the coordinate space. Okay, so this is one coordinate point, this is another coordinate point, and this is another coordinate point. So we'll map these points like this in the coordinate space, and this is blog post 1, this is blog post 2, and this is blog post 3. So all we need to do now is calculate the distance between these 2 points and these 2 points, so that we know what is the distance. So the maximum the distance, the maximum is the similarity. So minimum the distance, the minimum is the similarity. So if there is a minimum distance, then we can assume that those 2 blog posts are most similar. Okay, so as a measure of the similarity, what we discussed is we will calculate the distance between 2 points. Okay, so now we need to write a code to exactly do that. Okay, so now we already have the points here, all the points we have got. So what we need to do is we need to calculate the distance between this point 1 to point 2, and also distance between point 1 to point 3. So whatever is the minimum distance, that would be the closest blog. So finally what we need to do is to calculate the distance between the 2 points. So what is that called as? Okay, so that is called as Euclidean distance. Okay, so this is the 10th class mathematics which we have learned, how to calculate the distance between 2 points. Okay, if there are 2 points given like this, for example, so let us suppose this is x1 comma y1 and this is x2 comma y2, then the distance between these 2 points is calculated as square root of x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square. Okay, so that is the simple formula, and it was called as Euclidean distance. Okay, so there is already a method in the SciPy library which is given to us how to calculate this Euclidean distance. So we just Google it out, like how do we calculate the Euclidean distance, and this is the function we get. Okay, if we browse through this function, right, what we understand is this is how we calculate. So this is the example which is given on how to calculate. So distance dot, so first we will import the distance from this library, and then we say distance dot Euclidean, and then pass 2 points to it. So then it will calculate the distance and print it out like this. Okay, so this is what we are going to do right now. So we are going to take this CSR matrix, and then we need to extract this point out of it. So now the question is, how do we extract this first point out of this entire matrix, and then second point out of this entire matrix separately, so that we can pass it out to the function like this, like point 1 and point 2, and then calculate the distance. Okay, so that's what we are going to see right now. Okay, so the one thing which we know is we have printed the type of this particular variable. Okay, and we have got the output as this one. So the type is CSR matrix type, which is of SciPy, which is this data type is as part of the SciPy library. So what we do is we just have to find for this library. Okay, so I just googled it out. So then what happens, we go into this library, and if we study this entire library and what all function it supports, right, we also get to know that there is certain function called get row. Okay, so get row of I. So if we use this function, then what it does is it will return the row specified. Okay, so let's try this particular method and see what it returns. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to take this variable and we need to say dot get row of 0. So because the 0 is the first element, this element which I wanted to get. So let's see what it prints till here. Okay, it just says that it is 1 by 12 matrix. Okay, so if you see, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So it's a 1 by 12 matrix it is saying, and it is a sparse matrix. As we already seen, it is the compressed matrix, right? And to get the original matrix out of it, we need to do 2 array. So we already discussed this in our previous videos. So I just do the 2 array here, and this returns an array to me. Okay, so but if you see here, what it returned is a 2-dimensional array, right? So it is an array of arrays. So if I want the 1-dimensional array out of this 2-dimensional array, then all I need to do is a simple programming language technique, that I just need to take the first element of that particular 2-dimensional array, and this will return me the 1-dimensional array. So I have successfully got the point 1, right? Similarly, I need to get the point 2 also, and all I need to do is here get row 1. So if I see here, then I got the point 2. So we can just print these two so that both get printed. Okay, so these are the 2 points, point 0 and point 1. So all I need to do now is I just need to calculate the distance. I need to calculate the distance between these 2 points, right? So we have already seen how to do it. Okay, so Euclidean distance, we have seen the code for it already here. So this is the import first we need to do. So let us go here and just do the import first. Okay, and then what we need to do is we just need to copy paste this method. So this would be my method, and all I need to do is now take the first element here, and instead of this array I need to pass this one, and take the second element here, and I need to, instead of this array I need to pass this element. So now I am getting the row 0 and row 1, and I'm just subtracting these two, or else passing these two as an argument to this distance function, which will ultimately calculate the Euclidean distance for me. Okay, so let me print this, and I got the distance, which is 2.8. Okay, similarly I'll calculate the distance between these two also, which is 0 and the third element here. Okay, so that would be 0 and 2. Okay, so the distance of these two is 3.4. So I just need to print these two so that both get printed. Okay, instead of just last element. If I want both of them to get printed, then I just have to add this print statement. And see, the distance between this point and this point I got as 2.8, and then the distance between this point and this point I got it as 3.4. Okay, it is similar to what we have got here. Okay, so the square root of 4 and square root of 8. So block 1 minus block 2 we have done. So it's the same thing, the distance between block 1 and block 2 we calculated, and we got less distance here when compared to the distance between block 1 and block 3. Okay, in our analysis also the distance between these two blocks was similar, and we validated it is meaningful also, because these two seems to be more related when compared to these two. Okay, the same result we have got using our coding also. Okay, so this is the basic coding which we can do to calculate the similarity between the two block posts. Okay, so this is what I wanted to cover as part of this video. So now what we'll do as part of our coming lectures is we will make this code production ready, and we will implement this code on a real-time website, get the block post, parse it, calculate the distance, and actually suggest the related blocks. That is what we are going to do in our coming lectures. Thank you.